Hey guys, what's up? It's Andy here, and today we are talking about how to import for Takealot. So I believe that importing for Takealot is a really good strategy. I do talk about that a little bit more in detail in my course, which is linked below. But for today, we're going to talk about importing goods. So it doesn't just have to be for Takealot, it could be for your Shopify store, and it's for importing into South Africa. So I've got some cool tips, tricks, and if you guys like this kind of videos, please make sure to like and subscribe. Right, so jumping into it, there are two types of importing, air freight and sea freight. And obviously sea freight is going to go on a boat. It is generally for bigger consignments, more expensive consignments in terms of volume. And it's just going to be slower overall, and it's generally going to be way cheaper. On the other hand, you have air freight, which is going to be for maybe smaller consignments, maybe more valuable in terms of value of the goods, not necessarily how many of them there are. And it's going to be lighter consignment, and it's just going to be much quicker than sea freight, but much more expensive as well. So today we're just going to really talk about air freight, because sea freight is sort of something I feel like you grow into as sort of a larger business. You start moving more products slower, and you don't mind waiting because you can afford to let the product sit on the boat. But as a small business, you might want to get your hands on those goods faster, even at a price of a smaller margin. So with air freight, there are companies like, you've probably heard of them, FedEx, DHL, Aramex. A lot of those guys operate in South Africa. But there's something new that I want to tell you about, a new type of a new company. It's also sort of a slightly different type of importing. And the company is called Airpool, which I'm very excited to show you guys about. If you are interested in signing up with Airpool at any point in this video, you can just use my link below. And what Airpool does is it is a South African-based consolidation service that focuses on air freight to South Africa.
Airpool is a shipping consolidation service that really offers an affordable service for small businesses and entrepreneurs. Small businesses that doesn't necessarily have the startup capital that they need to either buy in bulk or to do sea freight or stuff like that. So yeah, we really are there to help small businesses really get started in the shipping industry.
One big bonus with using a company like Airpool, which is completely different to any of the other providers, is that you won't need a import license, which is a huge barrier for people in South Africa. It just takes long, and yeah, something you don't need.
You really don't need any of the formal licenses that you would need as an importer, because Airpool acts as the importer and exporter of record. So an importer's code, don't need one. Like, you can just log in, you can register, you can place an order, because we act as importer of record. So none of that legislative restrictions apply to small businesses anymore.
Right, so now that you know what Airpool is, now we can talk about how to actually use them. What you're going to do is you're going to start off by negotiating with your supplier in China, and you're going to tell them that you need the weights, the dimensions, the invoice, the HS code, and a packing list, and the value of the goods, and a description of the goods as well. All of that stuff is what you'll need to put into Airpool's online quote generator, and their generator is going to generate basically all of the costs for the shipping, as well as the taxes and duties, which we'll talk a little bit more about in towards the end of the video. So once you've got all of that, you put it in, and you're going to get a quote on the spot, and you're basically going to be presented with a price. And if you're happy with that, you're going to accept that, and it's going to generate a label. You'll send that label to your supplier. Your supplier will stick it on a box. It's got the address on it already. And then you'll take that parcel and you'll send it to a warehouse. Your supplier will send that to a warehouse in China. If you've just got one parcel, when it gets to China, you just let Airpool know that you're ready to send that good to South Africa. However, if you've got multiple parcels, then Airpool is also perfect for you.
As a shipper, how you would like to send your packages. If you have 5 packages that's arriving over the next 2 weeks, you can either make the decision to split your shipment into 2 different consolidations, or we can hold back some of the packages and send everything on one console.
So essentially, you will be able to collect as many parcels there as you like and consolidate them, so that if you have lots of little 5 kilo shipments, you put it together and you get the cheapest shipping rate because they are getting shipped together. Also, it minimizes sort of inbound receiving, because it's all coming at once. There's a bunch of other benefits. So what Airpool's going to do, just in summary, the label, they're going to store it there until you're ready. Then they're going to fly it to you. and they're going to deliver it to you to your door. So it's not like to a warehouse or anything like that. It comes straight to your door. So you guys have probably seen some of the clips from an interview I did with Airpool. If you guys want to see that, it is also going to be linked below this video. So you're just about all of the way there. It's much simpler, as you can see. You don't have to do accounts. You don't have to faff with all of that stuff. It's pretty straightforward, and it is made very easy for you guys. Also, if something goes wrong, which it has happened to me before, one of my suppliers sent a parcel without a weighbill, which is like a big no-no. It's the weighbill is how it identifies. But I just said to my supplier and to Airpool, and I just said, look, this is what's happened. And literally within an hour or two, it was sorted and there was no problem. And they sent me a picture of my parcel with the weighbill on it. So that was really cool. And you guys are going to have that happen to you maybe at some point, and at least you know your parcels are still going to be safe. And also, it didn't have to go back to my supplier. It was really efficient. They sort of did it en route type of thing. So now earlier we mentioned VAT and duties. It's a very big part of selling on Takealot. Don't get screwed at landing costs. You have to know exactly what your landed cost is when you're selling on Takealot or on your own website. It's essential. I mean, VAT and duties could literally be as much as the goods were. And if you're not VAT registered, you can't claim that. So you have to write that into your cost. So for instance, if it's 10 Rand or $3 on Alibaba, it's going to probably be like 4 or 5 or 6 after all the shipping and duties and stuff like that. So please factor those into your costs, because that's going to be make or break when you are calculating your margins. And that might be at the end of the day where you find, like, if you have shortcomings in your profit, maybe it's there. So do the math. It's worth it. You just do it once as it lands, and then it's done until the next shipment comes.
That will give you the total landed cost, which is also a pretty cool thing. That means that estimates VAT and duties, that gives the customs clearance cost, and it includes the local transit cost when it gets to South Africa.
Lastly, it's really refreshing to see a platform that actually is using tech properly and integrating it. You can actually see, there are consolidation services. It's not a new thing. But to have a platform where you can just see all of the stuff listed there, it's mostly all automated, the quoting, the generators. Like I just don't feel comfortable using a supplier that's just going to say, okay, yeah, just send it, or just forward me the details and they'll take care of it, which is, if you find the supplier that does that and it works, that's amazing. But I've just never felt comfortable, because I wouldn't remember maybe parcels that I've sent, keeping track of it, keeping the weights, the DIMs. I mean, everything is like, as you can see here, it's all just parcel. You can go into each one, see the weights, the DIMs, what it is, how much, the references, everything. So it's really, really refreshing to see. And I think it's definitely a leader in the tech and platform space. And essentially, that's about it for today's video. If you guys like this type of content, please make sure to like and subscribe. It does help support the channel. It's still a small channel, and I just do this for fun at the moment. So yeah, your likes and subscribes kind of keep me motivated. If you guys want to check out that course, it is also linked below. The full interview is linked below. And of course, if you want to sign up to Airpool, use my link. It does help support the channel as well. So guys, that's it for me today. Hope you guys all have an amazing week, and see you guys soon.
And to really welcome people into the platform and make it easy for them to use and for them to be happy while they use it.